meteorologist, Sydney Welch.
And I'm almost meteorologist, Alyssa Pedrick.
So this is our last time up here doing this because this is the senior show and the final show of FSU weather for the spring semester.
And then going into finals next week, which I know all of you guys are either beginning to study tonight or planning on doing it sometime this weekend. I'm probably starting on Monday.
Yeah, I'm starting tonight, so that just shows the two different people here. But this show is going to be fun-filled with lots of weather facts, including a segment about moss.
I know you guys have probably been dying since the last time you heard about it. Well, Matt will give you some answers to all of the questions you've been thinking about.
All of the burning questions that have been keeping you awake. But anyways, flipping the script, Alyssa, you have some exciting news for us here.
Yes, I actually have a job. I begin May 21st at WNCT in Greenville, North Carolina.
That is so exciting. I'm sure that the process was really stressful for you and whatnot, but that's so exciting that you got a job.
That's why we're all of us seniors are doing like FSU weather today to show our appreciation, because I wouldn't be able to have had the job if it wasn't for this experience and the people I'm around.
FSU weather has really gave us the experience and what we needed in order to come up here and do this. This is what we're going to have to be doing for the rest of our lives. So we have to start somewhere.
And don't just take it from us. At the end of the show, we're going to have a senior send-off where we all say our favorite memories through the show, before the show, after the show. You're going to get the full details.
Oh, yeah. So as for right now, we are going to take it over to Sterling with a look at the overview.
Hi, guys. We had a very beautiful day today. Quite a few clouds out in the sky, but those are going to go away in a little bit. If you look at today's highs, mid to high 70s all around. Pretty nice day to be outside, if you're outside at all, which I'm sure everyone was. But for tonight's forecast, mid to low 50s. If you do want to go outside, it's again a perfect night to be outside. Just make sure you wear a light jacket or something to that effect. But later on for this show, you'll find out that we have it'll be warm and sunny all week. So it'll be the first weekend in a while where there probably isn't going to be any rain. So that's a plus. It's going to be a great weekend to get outside, as we said before. And at the end of our show, we're going to have our senior send-off. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going back to the desk.
All right, thank you so much for that, Sterling Randolph. Almost meteorologist Sterling Randolph. He joined us. He's been behind the scenes a lot, almost every single day religiously, Alyssa. If you come down here in the studio, you always see Sterling. He always has a smile.
Right.
And this was one of his first times on air, so a great job from you, Sterling. You're going to be a great meteorologist here.
It just shows you can be behind the scenes and do well and come up in front. He did absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy he decided to come up front.
And so you're going to be going up front. What city will you be in?
Greenville, North Carolina.
Greenville, North Carolina. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I've been wanting, every time people would ask me where I wanted to go, right after school, I always said the Carolinas, and just so happens that I get to be exactly where I want to.
FSU making the dream happen, that's right.
I know, exactly. And you've been packing up your apartment, getting ready to move out?
I have been packing up my apartment, getting ready to move out. I can't quite say where just yet, where I'm going next, because we're still trying to finish the paperwork and get everything done, but I promise FSU weather has provided a fantastic opportunity for me to do this. When I actually came to Tallahassee in Florida State, I was coming from Arkansas, and I worked as a reporter and a fill-in weather anchor. And so this has really immersed me in the broadcast meteorology experience, and I am so grateful that I have come here and have had the time to do everything that I've done.
And we've all gotten so close, so we've created so many memories through here, but we're actually going to send it on over to Matt.
Thank you, guys. We are talking about moss later. I remember that we teased that in the first desk. Well, the moss is coming, the questions, the answers, they're coming later on in the show. But first, we've got gorgeous weather out there. 75, it's sunny and 75. Don't mind the clouds. There's just a couple puffy cotton ball clouds around, and west-northwest wind keeping us a little bit on the cool side too. That's a cool 75 degrees. Now, where have we been and where are we going and where should we be? 77 is the actual that we saw today. A very nice day. Low, we woke up this morning at 56 degrees. Now we are slightly below average, at least for the high, but thank goodness we're at not at 95 degrees and not 39. I would not be excited to be down here. However, the highs across the region, 70s is what we saw all around. Perry was the warm spot at 78 degrees, and the winds were pretty much out of the west, gusting up 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, what's going to be happening with the weather over the next few days? Well, it's pretty much going to be staying the same. Cloud cover, maybe a couple sprinkles potentially. And we'll time it out for you here, Friday, 6 p.m. This is tonight. Seeing just a few clouds right now as you walk outside, but no rain around. The rain is in South Florida, which we'll be talking about later in the show. And then through Saturday, as we get to about lunchtime on Saturday or evening hours on Saturday, even less cloud cover here in the Big Bend and even the southeast. The high pressure system building in, and I can't remember the phrase that Shane always said, but I'll say it on the next segment, but dome of delight, I guess, high pressure. I'll figure it out in a minute. But high pressure is there, keeping the clouds away, keeping the rain away too, especially for South Florida tomorrow and across the entire southeast. Then a little bit further on into Sunday, it's going to be staying the same with a few passing showers over central Florida. But here in Tallahassee, definitely nice to get on outside and enjoy your weekend. It'll be a nice weekend out there, unless you're studying for finals, in which it will be a stressful weekend out there until you're done with those finals. Now, our temperature outlook, because we want to look into next week and late next week. What are we going to be seeing? High, low? Well, we're going to be slightly above average. About a 30% chance that we will be above average. What does this mean for you at home? Well, prepare for the mid-80s. That is exactly what we could be seeing next week with a breeze, and it will be nice out. So the pool and lakeside conditions are going to be quite nice. But tonight's forecast, 53, a jacket is going to be needed if you're out when we hit this low, which will be about 4 in the morning. So if you're out at 4 in the morning, you will be needing a jacket because it's 53 degrees. Tomorrow, 83. Get outside. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Head out to the res, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. And our week ahead for the 7-day. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 7 days, 7 suns. I had to say it. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, gorgeous. There's those mid-80s I was talking about. Slightly above average than usual. But really, overall, quite nice out there. Sydney?
Yes, Matt, so that was your final local. I know you're probably feeling a little nostalgic about that, but I am going to be taking it out with a look around the southeast. Now, the entire southeast is in, as Matt said, and Shane used to say, a dome of delight. So 70s around the entire region, and down there, we have a warm spot in Tampa and Miami, so no surprise, down there in South Florida, they are seeing extremely warm conditions and extremely muggy conditions, but hey, it's South Florida, so if you are down in South Florida, you do expect those muggy conditions. Now, as we bring it back to Little Rock and Shreveport, that's where the more dry and warm areas are, and that to me is way more enjoyable than it being muggy. They are not swimming in the air, but there is a nice front that is hanging out on the line of Texas and Mexico, and that's causing a little bit of rain and clouds, and the same front actually is going to be over in the Carolinas, causing the same thing, some clouds, some showers, but hey, it's a weak front. It went overhead Tallahassee yesterday, and none of us even noticed because it's still very warm, and there was barely any rain associated with that. South Florida, however, is seeing the worst of the effects of this system. They did have a severe thunderstorm warning earlier in the day, and there was a tornado warning down there as well. So if you are in South Florida, keep your eye out. The worst does seem to be over, but things will continue to rain and have a little icky stickiness down there. So keep an eye on your weather if you are in the area. Now, we do see this front due to these winds right on the coast here, and it is swooping up. We are seeing it in Charleston as well. So the winds right now, they are light and variable though for Tallahassee because we are now behind the front. So we have the clouds going away in the sky, and we have beautiful things to come. So these winds are going to shift over the next few days as we become dominated by a high pressure system. The low pushes right off of the coast of the United States, and the high pressure system sitting right in the Gulf of Mexico, right near Houston. So we are going to be seeing that really take over into the next week, and that is why we are seeing full suns into the rest of the week for the entire region. Now into tonight's forecast, you're going to need a jacket, unfortunately, but we are in the southeast, so we're saying 54 is cold here. 54 really isn't that cold, but we are seeing those conditions that you're going to need a jacket, and in the morning, you're going to want to take that jacket off because we're going to be seeing conditions in the 80s. Montgomery seeing 80 degrees, Atlanta seeing 75. So even the north parts of the southeast are heating up as we go into tomorrow, and that is all that I have right now. We are going to be taking it over to Matt in the lab.
All right, thank you very much, Sydney. We are looking at a nice forecast around here with a lot of sunshine, and we wanted to answer some of your questions following up on our resident moss enthusiast and I, Dylan Leith's segment on moss. It has a lot to do with how the weather impacts the earth and a lot to do with the sun. The moss does not like to grow in the sun. The question we got was, does the moss grow in the tropics? Well, this isn't the tropics, but we wanted to have this picture here just to show you what moss looks like. But in the tropics, there's quite a bit of sun everywhere, and in the direct sunlight, the moss won't grow. However, there are a lot of rainforests along the tropical equator. And underneath that canopy, that very thick canopy, such as the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, or various other places, the African rainforest as well, there'll be a lot of moss underneath those canopies. So if you have more moss questions, feel free to tweet at us or send us a Facebook Messenger question. We'll be happy to answer all of your moss questions over the summer. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Matt. We've seen the local look at the forecast and the forecast for the southeast. Now let's take it, show you the bigger picture here, what's going on across the nation. We've got some red flag warnings. This is not quite uncommon to see. However, it is uncommon for now because just last week those temperatures were a lot cooler, and we see these red flag warnings for parts of Iowa, but also down in Arizona. And we see these conditions over there in the pink, right there south of Vegas and west or east of LA, when we have temperatures that are a lot or weather that's a lot drier, but winds also starting to pick up, that's spurring those red flag warnings. As for the radar right now across the northeast, some showers over the Atlantic, Boston to Bangor, Maine, and maybe a few spotty showers near Burlington, Vermont. But let's also turn your eyes towards Green Bay, Wisconsin, south of I-43 and east of 39. A messy commute right now for anyone traveling home from work or hitting the roads early for the weekend because of this low pressure that's here. It's not a strong low, but it's enough to be a nuisance and cause some rainfall for those areas right now in Wisconsin. As for temperatures right now, we're seeing temperatures approach the 80-degree marks, near 80s in Dallas-Fort Worth, and 72 for Albuquerque, 85 for Salt Lake City, Utah, 55 for Seattle right now. They not only have cloud coverage, but they also have some rain, and that's going to be evident from this next area of low pressure that's going to move onto the United States coast. 73 for Memphis right now, but that low pressure that's going to move onto the coast probably early next week into mid next week. I'll show you that in a second. Might bring some severe weather into parts of the plains that have not seen tornadoes this entire year. And we're talking about places that typically see them about weeks ago. 43-degree dew points right now in Dallas-Fort Worth, 51 for San Antonio, Texas. But take a look at this. Here is the dry area, here's the moist area, so we might start to see some thunderstorms pop up along this dry line, but we're not too bad as far as dryness goes. It's very mild and comfortable outside. The 54-degree dew points for New Orleans, 71 down in Miami. We know that because it's raining right now. The satellite and radar for the Pacific Northwest, this is what I was just mentioning here. This is this low pressure starting to get its act together. We take a look at Futurecast and take away the time. You can see that this low still tomorrow and into parts of Sunday, still working its way onto the coast and trying to get its act together, and that will happen Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Possibly some severe weather for parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and maybe northeast Texas as well. We're going to keep our eyes out for that. Even though we do have finals, we can also check the weather because, hey, we're almost meteorologists in about 6 days. 55-degree temperatures tonight for Dallas-Fort Worth, 61 for San Antonio, Texas. A nice 43 for Kansas City. Minneapolis, it's 34 degrees, so we're near freezing, but I think they're okay with that because last week they were in the teens. Boston, 48 for you and 53 for our nation's capital, D.C. As for tomorrow, Florida will be warm. We know this, but also most of the northern tier of the country also going to be warm too, and I think everyone likes that because Sydney, Florida is finally sharing spring.
Oh yeah, and we are so ready for this as finals are starting because, as Tevin said, there's no better way to procrastinate than to look at the weather going on not only in Tallahassee but around the entire United States. We all do that while we're studying, and we all do it together as well. So current temperatures around Tallahassee one more time. We are seeing the mid-70s, 75 in Tallahassee, lower in those northern portions in the low 70s. So we are all around seeing beautiful conditions, still feeling a little muggy out there, and there are some clouds passing by, but things will clear up because a high pressure system is on its way to take over and to bring the sunshine and bring us some drier conditions. Back down in Miami, though, unfortunately, they are not seeing the same thing. They are seeing this line of storms that is associated right now, a sea breeze coming onto the peninsula, and there was some severe weather earlier, as I mentioned, but things will be getting better as the night goes on. If you are in those areas, keep an eye on your forecast. Now into the next 2 days, as Tevin was talking about that low pressure off Portland trying to get its act together, that's what's been going on. There's also a front that is over Denver and the Four Corners, and that will be breaking up as it comes towards Tallahassee, because look into the next 2 days. Tallahassee, I'll get out of the way so you guys can see it even more clearly. There is nothing around the southeast. So into tonight, bring that jacket if you're going out or going anywhere. If you are celebrating with your family or anything like that, don't forget a jacket. Mid-50s, 56 is the warm spot down there in St. Mark's. Now into tomorrow, most of us unfortunately will be studying on this beautiful day, but 58 for the morning. Then you take that jacket off around 11 p.m. for those 74 degrees, and then by 3 p.m., 80 degrees, so it might get a little uncomfortable. You might even want to be inside studying for that. But if you are not, just know 80 degrees for that baseball game tomorrow. Watch Miami strike out, because FSU will be taking on Miami, and we will be bringing our all. So go Noles. Light winds, so not really affecting that ball game. Now tomorrow's forecast, mid-80s in Tallahassee, 84 degrees, 81 in St. Mark's, and then the northern portion seeing 83 and 82 degrees. Into our 7-day forecast, take a look. Saturday and Sunday, this is the first weekend we've seen with no rain chances. So utilize this weekend if you can, if you don't have those finals. Just some clouds coming in on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, though, those clouds do disappear, and we're seeing mid-80s for our highs and 86 degrees on Friday, so we can all get excited. 86 degrees is really warm, but I am going to be taking it over with Tevin. Tevin, this is our last desk together.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, we've been together since, not like together, but in class.
In class together for the past 2 years.
2 years, and our last names both end with W, so we've
been next to each other.
It's been destiny.
Yeah, I know. We became best friends. I remember the first time I saw Tevin in the front of the class, he was asking so many questions. I was the little shy girl in the back corner. I was like, don't anyone talk to me. And he's up there asking questions. I was like, I need to be friends with him. He's going to be my next, he's going to be my new friend. And here we are today. Like, so sad to say goodbye, but it happens and life goes on.
Goodbye. This is not goodbye, folks.
Later.
It's not even see you later. It's like, I'll see you probably tonight and tomorrow. We still have tests next week.
Yeah, so we are going to be studying together.
When we go get our jobs, we will still FaceTime. Technology.
Yeah, technology will keep us all together. We have all become a family here over the past few years. But on that, hug. I know, hug. On that note, Matt, what's going on around Florida?
What's up, guys? We're in the Sunshine State now. I'm gonna get over here so we can see the Sunshine State. Big bubble of no trouble. There you go, Shane. Thank you very much, the voice of Shane Pendleton, for letting us know what the big bubble of no trouble is. Our temperatures around the state of Florida are in the 70s, 80s down closer to South Florida. And we wanted to talk about Florida today because we saw a couple of, well, a tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning in Broward County. But we'll take you on a radar tour in just a moment. Dew point. Our dew points here in Tallahassee, North Florida, pretty much south until about the I-4 corridor, are on the low side, feeling rather nice out there. But as we get farther south in the 70s, and quite muggy and air you can wear, I know that's been said before, so we'll say that as well. And the dew points are really up there as well. The wind flow predominantly out of the west for the entire state of Florida. Even coming in down to South Florida, the winds are out of the west, which are going to push those afternoon storms towards the coast, towards the metro areas down there in Dade and Broward counties. Now, our feels-like temperatures, because we do need to factor this in. We're starting to get towards summer, so it's getting hot, unfortunately. Here we go. 84 in Fort Myers, 80 in Tampa, 75 here in Tallahassee. Overall, not too bad. But as we get into the summer months, it will start to warm up even more because, well, that's summer. Anyway, the satellite and radar down towards the, really you don't find anything, as we talked about with the big bubble of no trouble. Until you get down to I-4 and south, you see the rain, you see the thunderstorms really powering through South Florida, and they do need it because they are under some drought conditions down there. And here it is, zoomed in just a little bit further. Miami area, seeing the entire rain shield starting to move through. So a soggy commute tonight. Keep it slow if you're listening to us from South Florida. As we move into our timing this out futurecast, the rain will be out of here very quickly. 10 p.m. tonight, we should start to see it diminish. Maybe a couple stray storms left still on the east coast of Florida. But overnight tonight, we will be making way for a gorgeous spring Saturday. Tomorrow night, sunshine, big bubble of no trouble. We're going to try to say that as many times as we can tonight and into tomorrow and Sunday. Once again, a really nice day for the Sunshine State. As we always like to say, the radars are not broken, and it's living up to its name here in the Sunshine State. Tonight's forecast, 54 here in Tallahassee, 57 all the way down to about Gainesville. That's when it starts to creep up to 60 degrees and into the upper 60s down in South Florida. Not the best conditions. However, 84. It's a gorgeous spring day across the entire Sunshine State tomorrow. Here in Tallahassee, 84 Gainesville, 82 Tampa. It's been doing wall segments, but now I'm going to float this way and give the clicker to Alyssa to talk about the local.
Thank you, Matt. I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic that today is going to be my last local as a student meteorologist. But as we look at today's time lapse, you can see that clouds have been the main story throughout this afternoon. That front did push through, didn't give us any rain, which is great, but the clouds did stick around. Going into the evening hours, not really much to worry about with that. Currently in Tallahassee, it is 75 degrees, partly cloudy with winds coming out of the west-northwest, 10 miles per hour. So it's pretty breezy today. Felt fairly dry here in Tallahassee. The dew point was 51 degrees, Quincy 54, and towards the coast a little bit more moist at 59 degrees, but still fairly dry all around the Big Bend. As we check in with the wind speeds, we can see that most of them are coming from the west or northwest behind that front, bringing in drier air, which is why today and over the next couple of days we will have drier conditions as well as clearer skies. But here in Tallahassee, the winds are 8 miles per hour, Quincy 9, and a little bit gustier. Still not too gusty over in Bainbridge, 10 miles per hour, and Apalachicola, 11 miles per hour. So looking at the forecasted winds right now on our Friday, we can see here along the coast, that is just the sea breeze, kind of the winds coming from the north as well as some coming from the south, just kind of sandwiching each other, creating a little bit of a sea breeze situation. However, as we look more towards Texas, you can see a little bit of a clockwise flow. That is a high pressure that will begin to move further towards the southeast over the next couple of days, leaving us with higher temperatures as well as better conditions over the next couple of days. But as we look towards the rest of Florida, this right here, you can pretty much point it out where our front has been and has moved over the past few hours, pretty much dominating most of South Florida. But other than that, for here in Tallahassee, not much to worry about. Going into tomorrow, though, we will see the winds pretty much staying in the same pattern as it is right now, coming from the northwest, drier conditions. But as I move a little bit further over, you can see the high pressure has moved a little bit further east, as you can see through the winds going clockwise. And as we look towards the Atlantic, all of the remnants of that front has pushed through by Saturday, and going into Sunday, not really much to worry about. Same story, winds coming from the north. Tonight's forecast, we will see temperatures in the Big Bend in the mid to low 50s. Tallahassee tonight, 54 degrees, Quincy 52, and Bainbridge 54. So if you do have plans tonight celebrating the last day of classes, before you start studying for finals, definitely bring that jacket around. Have a good time before you have to try and find that seat in Stroh's. I know how horrible that is. Tomorrow's forecast, we're seeing temperatures in the low 80s. Tallahassee, you're seeing 84 degrees, Quincy 83, a little bit cooler towards the coast of Apalachicola, 80 degrees. Now for the next 7 days, we're seeing pure sunshine. Nothing really to complain about. So study outside if you do have a chance. Probably stay in the shade because it will be pretty toasty. Temperatures will be in the low 80s, beginning to heat up going into Tuesday. But overall, a great weekend and great week to look forward to. Now we're actually going to bring everybody up here right now to talk about, our favorite memories from FSU weather and everything that we're going to be doing after school is over. So everybody is up here.
Bring it in, family.
Bring it in,
So
family.
Sterling, it looks like you're starting.
Yeah, Sterling's starting here. Come on in here.
We gotta fit everybody on screen. Hi, Mom.
Good,
Sterling.
All right, so Sterling, what's your favorite memory here?
Honestly, just being down here, being behind the scenes and doing time cues for you all. Honestly.
Oh, thanks, Sterling.
And I like that you've given really good time cues.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Sterling
important in
gives
TV.
Quality time cues.
Always accurate.
So if you need to be on time, call him. My favorite memory, I don't know. Just being down here. It's been a crazy experience. You come down here every single day. We love weather. We're nerds. We're in class probably 12 hours a day. I'm making that up. But then you come down here. It's a total release of class. You don't have to worry about teachers or assignments. You just get to worry about sterling time cues and, going on air.
For me, I'd have to say my favorite memory is always Alquist. We always smile when we think of him because he's pretty much given us this opportunity to really use what we learn in the classroom and put it on screen and be able to talk about it, potentially be able to teach and grow as meteorologists. And I can finally say that in the next few days that we will actually, all of us here, be meteorologists. And also getting to know you guys. I gotten a lot closer to everyone. I started FSU weather more routinely last semester, and I'm really thankful that I took the opportunity that Alquist gave me.
Thank you. My turn. So, I have a few things. I have pre-planned this. So, number one,
Miss America speech.
So, number one, on top of what Alyssa said, I would like to thank Dr. Alquist as well, because none of us would be here without him fighting for this studio. This studio is his baby, and he has produced us as meteorologists. He's taught us a lot of what we know, so just would like to thank him. Secondly, most of my memories involve food, so I would like to say getting a pizza and working on our Synoptic 2 labs. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Those are all fun memories. And lastly, being a producer down here in the studio was an awesome opportunity for me. I was Monday Fun Day producer. And on that note, here is the two old Monday producers, right? Last year and the year before. So now we're all together. So there you go.
Yeah, being a producer was definitely one of my favorite memories too. And I mean, just being down here in general, working with FSU weather was definitely great. And I mean, from the very first day I was down here, I was grabbed by the arm and learned to do controls for the show. So you guys have all been a great support team, and it's been a really fun time.
Oh, thanks. Again, thank you to Dr. Alquist. My favorite experience through the years, I feel like kind of the grandfather, seeing so many people go through here. Been covering the hurricanes and just seeing so many different people, meeting so many incredible people, so many different faces. It's something that I'm always going to remember and really going to miss down the line. But I think we have social media to talk about first. Yeah, here it is.
Follow us on Twitter. This is our last time doing the social media, guys. Should we all try to do it together?
It's okay. Well, you
Like
can
us
add
on
bro.
Facebook.
Facebook.com/FSU Weather.
YouTube. We're on YouTube at FSU. We're live there. It's a great place. Go on YouTube.
And you can follow us on Instagram, as it's been well said here. Don't forget to give the Instagram some love.
Yeah, so on that note, I think that we are all really proud to say what we're off to be doing after graduation. Alyssa grabs Mike.
I'm sorry. Let's start with this one. I'm sorry. Let's mix it up. We're gonna
Start over here. Okay. Well, I'm going to the Weather Channel as a producer. So I got my hat.
Yay!
So going up to Atlanta in about 6 days. So turn around.
Congrats, Matt.
It'll be a lot of fun. And anyway, I'm meteorologist Matt Reagan.
I'm meteorologist Brooke Marshall. Oh, wait, was that supposed to be second? Sorry, I'm just so excited. I'm still interviewing for a couple things, so we'll find out soon in the future what I will be doing. But once again, I am meteorologist Brooke Marshall.
And I am as well interviewing, and I'm meteorologist Sydney Welch. We're running out of time.
I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pitchick. That feels good to say.
I'm meteorologist Tevin Rooten. That feels fantastic to say.
I'm meteorologist Sterling Randolph.